J.R. Hefner does the unthinkable at Lebanon Valley. A shade of orange hit victory lane in the small blocks. Fast Eddie goes in the pits with one of the top guns in the Empire Super Sprints. It's time to sit back and relax as Race Pro Weekly starts in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another exciting episode of Race Pro Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Warren, and this week we go back to the confines of Lebanon Valley Speedway and the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park. Let's not waste any more time and let's head to the Valley of Speed. The Mighty Modifieds put together a big night once again at Lebanon Valley, and early in the night, Calamity Corner was turn number 1 as Kyle Sheldon and the 17 of Robbie Pitcher got into it, and you see Sheldon getting out of his car now. After losing a wheel, a tough break, he would get back out in the primary car for the feature event. Early in the race, Denny Soltis would take the feature lead from the drop of the green as they made their way through turn number 1 and 2. Caution would fly on the speedway, though, early in the event for the 34B of Andy Bacchetti. He would have to come back from the rear. On the ensuing restart, the 0 and the 55 of Mike King fly for the race lead, and it'd be all Kingfish until caution comes out with J.R. Hefner on his back bumper, and that's for the 16 of Kyle Hoffman. Hoffman would be okay as he got out of the car. He would be fine, but the car, well, not so much on the 16 machine. On the next restart, J.R. Hefner took off like a rocket, and he would then be challenged by the 20 of Brett Hearn. Hearn would get by Hefner as Bacchetti makes his way up through the field, but J.R. Hefner would power to the inside and get the lead back. As he made his way around, he would finish off with his second win of 2013.
Got out in front rather early and went to the top side. We were riding there and I started hearing noise and I really couldn't believe it. And he had got underneath us and pulled a few car lanes. So we looked around a little bit in the center of the track and found White, which brought us right back to him, and then we just got it on from there. I'm hoping that we can carry some momentum into this coming up weekend and then following Mr. Dirt.
I was going to say, you are a big fan of $17,500. Another one wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet. We just got to get this thing balanced out. Bicknell Chassis are really working with us, trying to get us to the front, and Bedell Horsepower is going good as well.
Had to be an entertaining race. I was saying that I thought that probably the car we had tonight was maybe the best we've had in a while, and came through pretty quick, could be aggressive with it. But in the end, when I got the lead, I thought, well, I was all set, but JR had a little bit left to come back and get me again. And, in hindsight, I probably would have run a little bit different lane than I chose after I got the lead. But, it was a great race. I'm sure it was a very entertaining one.
The top 5 for the feature would go J.R. Hefner picking up the win, Brett Hearn second, Donnie Corellis another strong run in third, Colby Schroeder in fourth, and Kyle Armstrong with another great run, rounding out the top 5. The rest of the top 10 goes with the Kingfish getting a nice top 10. Jimmy Burns, who was fast all night, finishing 7th. Jeff Hetzler, the Jeffer, coming in 8th. Eddie Marshall 9th, and Andy Bacchetti battling back for a 10th place finish on the night. Don't forget, folks, next week, the Super Dirt Series makes its appearance at the Valley of Speed. $17,500 to win for Mr. Dirt Track USA. The Glen Ridge Modifieds got started on Friday night with Bob Savoy leading the field to the green flag, along with the 53 of Bobby Vetter and Jeff Rockefeller right on the back bumper early. Second place would be taken over soon by the 23 of Richie Price, however, as he would continue to hound Bob Savoy throughout the remainder of the event. A caution with 9 to go would give another chance for Price to get by the number 5 machine, but it would be to no avail as Bob Savoy picked up his first career win at Glen Ridge. Richie Price would hold on for second, Bobby Varon would finish in third, Craig Hansen fourth, and the Flying Squirrel, Rocky Warner, would round out the top 5.
Racing's biggest party is coming. Not just Dirt Week, the Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week, October 9th through the 13th at New York State Fairgrounds. Be there as the Triple 20s light up the fairgrounds Friday night. Sunday's 200-lap Super Dirt Car big blocks on the Movie Mile. Modified, sprint cars, and late models, all part of the 5 Super Days of Dirt Track Racing. 5 days, thousands of laps. Get your tickets and event info now at SuperDirtWeekOnline.com. It's one party you won't want to miss. Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week, October 9th through the 13th. There's only one Super Dirt Week.
Some things to take a look at the Lebanon Valley Speedway this weekend. We got to start in the modified division where Brett Hearn again with another top 5 finish, further increasing his point lead on Andy Bacchetti. And I'll tell you what, Brett said that was one of the best cars he's had in a while.
Our focus right now is trying to be as good as we can be for Mr. Dirt. And I think that the Saturday night stuff is pretty much, we got a pretty good handle on it right now.
In the Pro Stock division, good to see young Daniel Sanchez making his first career start. Kept it in one piece in the 63 machine. We'll look to see how far this young gun will go in a bright career here in racing. Going back to the modifieds one last time, got to take a look at Jeff Hetzler in the 14 machine, coming up with a top 10 finish. Some of the young fans may not realize that Jeff Hetzler has a multitude of feature event victories in his career, so don't count him out with the upcoming Mr. Dirt Track USA with $17,500 on the line. Small block modifieds at Lebanon got started with our favorite Ginger throwing the green flag. That's Rodney Rescott. Early wreck in turn number 1 is the 14 of C.G. Morey and the 55 of Brett Haas. We'll get into a little jingle. Haas will be done, and the 14 of C.G. Morey will be done as well. Olden's Wire would retake the race lead on the restart with a fast charging 83 of Chad Pierce in tow. Pierce would get the lead about at the midway point of the event with Steve Mier right on his back bumper. As you see, Mier going to go to the outside. He's going to try the inside as well and everything. As further back, Lavoie and Harrington also fighting for positions. A late race caution for the 23 of Alex Bell would end his night up in turn number 3 and 4. As Chad Pierce would take the lead on the ensuing restart, and that would be all she wrote as Chad Pierce picks up his first small block modified win of his career.
New class, and we've been struggling for like the last month. I feel like we're starting to get a little bit better, but it was definitely needed. I said before we went out, I'll take a top 5, and to come away with a win is great.
Chad Pierce would pick up the win in the small block modified feature with Steve Mier coming in second, Kim Lavoie third, Ryan Darcy fourth, and Steve Huff rounding out the top 5. The Super DirtCar Series took to the Merrittville Speedway on Monday night where Mike Bowman was looking to go back-to-back for his second career Super DirtCar Series win. At the drop of the green, Bowman would take the lead as he'd rocket past Gary Tompkins for the race lead at the start, and he would lead up until lap number 62, while in dealing with lap traffic, Matt Shepard got underneath him to take the race lead. Shepard would hold on from there, and he would pick up the victory in the 9S machine, as that would be his second win of 2013 on the Super Dirt Series Tour. The Dr. Danny Johnson would come home in the number 2 spot. Brett Hearn would finish in third, Mike Bowman coming home in a strong fourth, and Matt Williamson would round out the top 5. The big blocks would then make their second career trip to the I-96 Speedway in Michigan, where Brett Hearn was sidelined from last year's event with his illness that cost him some of the 2012 season. At the drop of the green, Hearn would retake the lead no problem from pole sitter Keith Flack as he'd make his way to the top spot, and he would leave for the first half of the race no problem. Matt Shepard would pull in second on lap number 62, but he would have nothing for the Madsen Overhead Doors car number 20 machine as Brett Hearn would dominate the Super Dirt Series race at the I-96 Speedway, picking up the win and regaining the point lead. Matt Shepard would finish in second, Machine Gun Billy Dunton was third, Jimmy Phelps was fourth, and Gary Tompkins would round out the top 5. At this time, everyone here at Race Pro Weekly wishes to extend their condolences to the family, friends, crew, and fans of Kramer Williamson, who succumbed to his injuries that were suffered after a series of flips at Lincoln Speedway on Saturday night. Williamson has a tie to the Capital Region as he picked up a win at the Fonda Speedway on May 23, 1992 with the URC Sprints. God bless and thank you for all your racing memories. Want the full racing action from Lebanon Valley Speedway? Check out Bob Haynes in the Metro Media video booth at the track, as well as his website, www.metmedvid.com. That's www.metmedvid.com. Time to get into a little bit of full-fendered action at the Valley of Speed in the Pro Stock division, as Brian Keogh would lead the field to the green as they headed up into the east end for the first time. Early caution for the 322 of Jay Casey, last week's winner, will put him on pit road, and on the restart, Chuck Towsley would take the race lead as you see him now fighting with John Ruthier for that top spot early in the event. Meanwhile, on the move was the Cat's Eye Pest Control car number 8 machine of Jay Corbin as he would start to run down the 23 of Chuck Towsley at about the midway point of the event. Corbin would get by him and then set a torrid pace on the rest of the field as he makes his way to the checkered flag for the 7th time in 2013. Jay Corbin going to get out of the car, celebrate, get the flag from Rodney Rescott. A big 7th win for him on the season. Chuck Towsley would finish in 2nd, Jason Casey 3rd, Paul LaRochelle 4th, and Frank Twing would round out your top 5. Your Pure Stock winners for the evening were Jim Gronke, Chad Arsenal, and Big Ed Hatch. Curtis Hohenscheld led the field to the green in what would be a very caution-filled 20-lap Sportsman feature at the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park. Hohenscheld would have the lead up until lap number 4 when he would make inadvertent contact with an implement tire, handing the lead over to Ivan Joslin. He had survived the battle of attrition so far, and he was running at the top spot with a lot of challengers behind him, including Corey Wilder and the 24 of Brian Pesolano. However, no one would be able to challenge the 49 machine of Joslin as he would pick up his first career Sportsman feature event victory at Glen Ridge. Pesolano would finish in 2nd, Shea Montgomery 3rd, Corey Wilder 4th, and the Bullfrog, Jeremiah Munson, would round out the top 5. The cruisers at Glen Ridge were won by Keith Tesserow Jr., Doug Norrie picking up the win in the Lightning Mini Sprints, Rob Van Arnen picking up another win in the Street Stocks, and Blake Schwarting in the Rookie Sportsman picking up the victory. The Lebanon Valley Sportsmen were on hand this weekend as Todd Lane would lead the field up through turn number 1 and 2 for the first time at the drop of the green flag. Off of turn number 4, however, huge pile-up towards the back of the field would bring a lot of cars down to pit road. Point leader Tommy Johnson coming down on the inside. He has some damage, along with Tyler Dipple, as you see his crew going to work on pit road, along with the 17 of Timothy Davis. John Virgilio with some front-end damage as well. When we went back under green, Todd Lane would continue to have the race lead as Ray Hall Jr. and Alan Hotailing would race for position as well, with Lane continuing to lead the field as Hotailing would make a bid from the outside for the number 2 spot. A caution would bunch up the field for the 25 of Colin Clow, and then Hotailing will be on the move. He'd take the race lead off the restart as all the top guys making their way back from the lap 1 wreck. Alan Hotailing, however, would go on to pick up his 3rd win of 2013, 2nd in the Sportsman division in the Skidmore Heating and Cooling car number 250. Second place would be point leader Tommy Johnson. 3rd was the 1 of Tyler Dipple. 4th, the 12C of Peter Carlotto. And the 20 junior of Matt Papa would round out the top 5. It's time to take a look at our lasting impressions driver spotlight with Glen Ridge Sportsman competitor Brian Pesolano.
Racing's biggest party is coming. Not just Dirt Week, the Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week. October 9th through the 13th at New York State Fairgrounds. Either is the Triple 20s light up the fairgrounds Friday night. Sunday's 200-lap Super Dirt Car big blocks on the Movie Mile. Modified, sprint cars, and late models, all part of the 5 Super Days of Dirt Track Racing. 5 days, thousands of laps. Get your tickets and event info now at SuperDirtWeekOnline.com. It's one party you won't want to miss. Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week. October 9th through the 13th. There's only one Super Dirt Week.
If you are a tracker series that would like to be highlighted on Race Pro Weekly, email us at show@raceproweekly.com. It's now time to take a look at our weekend battles. At Albany, Saratoga, Ronnie Johnson picked up a thrilling victory with a late race pass over Keith Flack, who finished 2nd. Mark Kozlowski was 3rd, Kenny Tremont 4th, and Don Rocca round out the top 5. The battle at the D-shaped Dirt Demon saw Ryan Phelps picking up his first win of 2013 at Brewerton, with Pat Ward finishing second, Ryan Bartlett third, Matt Shepard fourth, and Jimmy Phelps rounding out the top 5. Machine Gun Billy Dunn picked up the win at the Land of Legends, with Matt Shepard in second, Justin Wright third, Justin Ayers fourth, and Matt Fink finishing fifth. At the track, a champion Stuart Friesen goes from last to first in a backup car to pick up the win. Jamike Soul finished in second, Alton Palmer third, Danny Varon fourth, and Elmo Reckner rounding out the top 5. Robbie Bellinger picked up the win at the Fulton Speedway, holding off Billy Decker for second, Tom Sears Jr. third, Pat Ward fourth, and the natural Dale Plank coming home fifth. The Modifieds at Mohawk saw Zach Albertine picking up the victory. Kerry Terrance was second, Billy Dunn third, Chris Robb fourth, and the Doctor, Danny Johnson, rounding out the top 5. At Orange County was Mike Ruggiero picking up the victory, Tim Heinley finishing second, Jerry Higbee third, Craig Mitchell fourth, and Billy Van Imwagen rounding out the top 5. At Utica Rome, Jimmy Davis made a thrilling last lap pass on Pat Ward to pick up the victory. Ward would have to settle for second, Todd Burley third, Matt Shepard in fourth, and AJ Slideways, Alan Johnson finishing fifth.
First trip here to the Albany Saratoga Speedway since 2006. What are your thoughts about this track?
Track is pretty racy and super fast. I was surprised of the banking, and it's with those sprint cars, you want to keep your momentum in the corners, and the track is pretty fast right now. It's really fun to drive it.
Coming to this race, first in the point standings ahead of Mikel Perrant. What are your thoughts about the points? You're about halfway through the season. Do you look at that now, or is it too early to tell?
For sure, we'll look a little bit at it. It's a lot of pressure for the championship, but the good thing is also not to pay attention to it, drive the race just like it's a new race. You want to win it and do good. So it's still a long way, changed pretty fast. Our point system made the thing change. So you could lose, we're leading like with 10, 15 points, but we could lose like 75 points on one night. So it's still a long way to go.
You're traveling here, 30th year of the Empire Super Sprints. How much fun is it to race with this organization?
ESS is a super good organization with the nicest group out here, and they run that thing, that group super clean. So we really enjoy, even if we would like to travel a little bit less, because it's a lot of time and money to travel. The good part of it is we run on super nice facility, different track with good people, so that makes that made it worth doing it.
You talk about the travel. How far was it for you and your team to get here tonight?
Here it's 3.5 hours, which is one of the closest track, because normally we're more towards Syracuse, so it's fun for us. So this is a good track for us with not that much traveling.
Looking at your car, you have a 25th anniversary sticker on your car. You've been racing for 25 years. Is that something you ever thought when you first started racing?
Oh, honestly, I didn't know when I started that I would have a long career like that. I'm surprised that I'm still doing it. I'm enjoying it. It's a way of living. I've done that all my life. I had a small injury last year, and I was out of racing for 1 month or two, and it was tough. So it shows that when you're used to do that, for me it's a hobby. Even if it's a semi-professional kind of racing, we're still enjoying it and putting all our effort to be competitive.
In the heart of the Capital District, you're in the heart of modified country. You raced a modified at one time. Do you miss racing the modified?
I miss racing big block modified. In Quebec, when he switched to small block, I didn't enjoy much being used to the big block modified with a lot of power, where the drivers have to control throttle more. I like that, and it's fun here to see Brethren and a couple of guys I race with. But when they switched to small block, that's what kind of made me go away from modify. When I look at them, I still makes me remember those days, which were like 10 years of my racing career, where I had quite a success and really enjoyed that part of my racing career.
You're tied for second on the all-time win list with the Empire Super Sprints. Did you ever picture yourself being there?
No, we were surprised how fast we catch to the second place. So it's really, people started to ask me if at one point we will be able to reach Mike Woodring at 59 wins. That's pretty far away, like 20 wins away, but it's still amazing that in those 6-7 years that we went to the second place on that list, we're really proud of that.
You talked a little earlier about traveling. How tough is it for the team to travel and be on the road every weekend?
It's pretty tough because especially I have a business that takes a lot of time, so we're doing that on top of the family business. So that makes it tough. Sometimes we have to go to Toronto, go back, start Friday morning. We travel all night just to be early at the shop to prepare the car for next week. That stuff. Maybe like a couple of years ago I was stronger. Getting older, it gets tougher.
Your goals as far as the 2013 season go, what would make Steve Poirier happy at the end of the season?
For sure we're running for that championship. So we're running again, those guys for the ESS championship and also the Canadian Patriot championship where we're third, I think, in points. So that's our main goal, to and get as many wins as possible. We have 4 this year with ESS, so right now we're in good shape.
Any idea how much longer you plan on doing this?
We don't know, as long as we will enjoy it. And for me, like, it's a hobby, so when it will get too hard and the success won't be here, I think it will be hard for me to continue with all the success I had. To continue without success, I think it would be tough. So hopefully we'll have success for a couple of years again, more coming in.
That's all for this week's show. For the latest news, results, and photos, check out Race Pro Weekly online, www.raceproweekly.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So for myself, Matt Knowles, Fast Eddie, Scott Morlock, Dave Whitney, Dave Del Sandro, and everyone that helps put Race Pro Weekly together, thank you for watching this week's episode, and we'll see you next time.